All right, time to take a look at the multifunctional shovel. It's cool. So we do have some instructions. It does come with a camouflage bag. Good Velcro on there. So we've got a handful of handles. All kinds of fun stuff. And there are pockets in the bag to put everything back. Okay, so let's take a look at the main unit. So it just has threading right here, so you can throw in whichever handle that you want. Oh, that's a cool design. So it's got a locking collar right here, so you can take this, spin it out and fold it up. We can use it 90-degree angle if we want, so more like a hoe or something like that. And then, yeah, straight. So normal shovel. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. It's a neat design. We do have a protective cover for the shovel, which is good. There is a light oil coating inside of here, so that's a good thing because we don't want this thing to be rusty when we get it. Let's get that a little wiped down. We're going to be putting this thing in dirt, so it's not really too awful important that it needs to be cleaned, but it is nice that it's going to be presented very well. Basically in the best condition that you can get. If we look closely, we can see that there are 2 rows of teeth here, which is great because what that means is, well, normally when there's 1 row of teeth, you have to worry about it binding, so it'll get past the teeth and then it'll start just like jamming up. So this is going to help you get a cut all the way through your piece without having to worry. Now it's not a very long saw, so you're going to be making short little strokes, but the fact of the matter is this will get through your piece if you need this thing for that. A nice sharp point right here. So that's actually pretty cool. So this is a blade. So you can use that for cutting rope. Got a couple of hex holes right here for twisting nuts and bolts and that kind of thing. Not really a ton of use for this. It's not going to be big enough for a lug nut or anything like that, but maybe it will be. Let's see. All right, so we're looking at about a 17 millimeter for the big one. About a 12 millimeter for the small one. We're looking at about 2.5 millimeters thick, a little bit over. So actually not bad for a little light shovel. You also have a blade on this side, so if you want to, you can use this thing as kind of an axe. And of course we got a good point on the top, and we got a nail puller here. Now if you were to ask me a while back, I would say that having a bunch of holes in shovels isn't a good thing because, you know, you're trying to shovel things and it's just gonna be falling through. But after using a shovel that's similar to this before, what I find is it doesn't really matter because the clay and the dirt always just clumps up. Unless you're pulling like really dry sand, then it's still gonna stay on top. Like you'll be able to see the dirt through the hole. The saw teeth, on the other hand, I might be a little bit more concerned about if you're going to be doing a lot of digging with this, which really means to me what this is mainly for is going to be something that you put in your truck or that you just have on the side and you use this for emergency. So this is an emergency shovel. So then whatever you need, you've got that and it's in good condition when you start. So if you need a shovel, you got a shovel. If you need a saw, you got a saw. And if you just use it as shoveling for a long time, then eventually these teeth are going to start to wear down. But I mean, that's going to happen with any saw or shovel or whatever. I do like that on the base that they curved this up, so it does give you something that you can put your foot on so that you can stomp this into the ground if you need to. So, we got handle number 1. So this has a hex top on it, so I'm going to assume that is for your screwdriver, which is actually pretty cool because just having a little screwdriver that you can pull out of your shovel, that's actually pretty neat. And the fact that we got holes in here for all of these inserts means that you can just take this out and you got a screwdriver, you don't have to take anything apart. And there is a rubber O-ring right here, so that's going to help to make sure everything stays connected and kind of water sealed. It doesn't really feel like it's magnetic, but it's not coming out either. Maybe it is magnetic. Oh, it's holding, so that's good. So number 2, this one is just hollow. And number 3, so this one has a point on it. If you're in a car and you need to break out, just take this thing, bam, hammer, and that point will shatter the glass. Then we've got our blades, so we gotta be a little careful here. Whoa, yeah, we gotta be a lot careful here. So we got our knife tip here. That has already got a nice blade on it. We also have a hook on the back and we got saw teeth on the back of that. These are again the double rows. And then here, this is the spear point. So what you'll notice is that, yeah, you can definitely do some damage with that. But it's also going to hook on the back. So you can spear into a fish or something like that. And when you pull it back, it will hold the fish there so that you're not just like stabbing fish and then letting them go. We don't want it to be doing that. So that's pretty cool. I did just notice that this one, whoa, spins out. And then we got our flint on the end. Oh, wow. And a whistle. Holy cow. Yeah, that'll get your attention. Pretty cool. And then we got a little bonus bag. Oh, that's cool. This is a top with a compass. Looks like it threads on just like all the rest, and it's got some paracord. So I think that's paracord. It looks like paracord. But if nothing else, it'll make it nice so you can just have something you can hang your shovel up by. So what makes this cool is at this point you can kind of assemble it whatever way you like. So if there's something that you use a little bit more than something else, or if there's a particular configuration, like if you want to have the spear on a long pole, you can just kind of throw this together however you like. So I personally am going to want the spear on the end, and I'll put the knife behind that. I'll just put the knife in there. Yeah, and that rubber gasket really does feel great when it actually gets in there. And then I'll put our screwdriver in the end there. So what that's going to allow me to do is if I need a screwdriver, which is probably something I'm going to be using more than knives or spears, got that option right there. Put our flint, and then our compass. Yeah, pretty cool. Wowee. That is quite something. We can just take this whole thing and put it in our shovel. So there is the whole thing. That is not too bad. The handle's a little longer than I was thinking it was going to be. It's not terribly long. It's not like a, something that you can easily stand with. It's not like a 5-foot handle, but this is definitely long enough to get work done. So if I lay the point on the ground, then my hand comes to basically a comfortable holding point with it down. So I would have to bend over a little bit if I get this all the way into the ground, but this is definitely more usable than those little tiny shovels that you get at the surplus store. And it feels sturdy. Like when this thing's assembled, like this is actually a really nice feeling shovel. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And I probably won't even put this back in the bag, but the fact of the matter is I can fit that whole thing right in here and then throw that like in a pocket in a car. So that's pretty awesome. This is a very cool shovel.